In today's video, we will learn how to autofill city and state from a zip code on any website or app using APIBarn's free ZipCode API. Let's get started. The ZipCode API has 6 endpoints, each allowing for a different function. These include search from zip code, search zip codes nearby, find zip code by city and/or state, zip code counts by state, zip codes within a state, and zip code by city and state. Today we'll be focusing on search from zip code. This will allow you to call the APIBarn ZipCode API with a valid 5-digit zip code and get the following response. In this example, we'll be using a demo website page that collects customer information for an HVAC company. As you can see, before the ZipCode API is installed on the form, the user is required to enter their zip code, city, and state. The goal of this demonstration is to allow a user to simply input their zip code and have the remaining information autofill instantly. Autofilling a user's city and state results in a better user experience, creates credibility on your site, and reduces the barrier to entry on form submissions. Another great application of the ZipCode API is checking whether someone's zip code falls within your service area and routing them to the appropriate channels if it doesn't. Before we jump into the low-code setup, let's take a look at what the finished product will look like once you've completed the tutorial. Before jumping into the code, I want to show you how to get set up with a free client API key from APIBarn. Go to apibarn.com/signup and fill out your full name, email, and a password, then hit Create Account. After this, you will be sent to the APIBarn dashboard. This is where you can manage everything about your account. On the left side, you will see the menu item API Keys. Click this. Once on the API Keys page, navigate to Create New Key. For front-end development, select Client Key. Give your key a name, and finally whitelist the domain origin that you will be calling our API from. This is an added layer of security that protects you from unauthorized calls you did not make. Once you have completed this, copy your API key. We will be using it in the next step of the tutorial. Without further ado, let's jump into the code. As a note, all code shown will be provided in the video description below. As you can see in our demo, we have 3 inputs that are populated by this API: zip code, city, and state. If you are following along exactly, it is important that each input tag has the correct ID attribute as shown on screen, so your script can properly reference those elements in the DOM further down in the code. If we scroll down to the script, you can see my client-side API key. As a reminder, never expose a server-side API key in public-facing code. Always use a client-designated key for front-end implementations. Next, we have an asynchronous function that calls the APIBarn ZipCode API and destructures the city and state code fields from the JSON response we walked through earlier in the video. Also included in this code snippet, which you can copy from the description, is a basic console error call for error handling. This is not required in a production build, but can be particularly useful during development and testing. To ensure a seamless user experience, we have attached an input event listener to the ZipCode field. It watches the field's value, and once the user has entered exactly 5 digits, it automatically invokes the lookup_zip function to call the API, no button click required. As a reminder, we have included a sign-up link for APIBarn in the description below. Most users can run a production environment on the free plan, and it only takes about 60 seconds to get your API key. We look forward to seeing what you build with it. Thank you for watching and have a great day.